The Brutalist is directed by Brady Corbett and is the next movie in my catching up on 2024 series of videos right now. But it's also releasing in a lot of places at the moment, so it feels like it's still fairly timely. This follows the story of Laszlo Toth, played by Adrien Brody, an architect who has come in from Europe and escaped the war. And as he has entered the country, he is hoping to fulfill some version of the American dream in order to achieve a lot more than he could have in some place as war-torn as he was. And as the movie progresses, you're getting to see the highs and lows of that journey as he is beginning to do a lot more when it comes to the talents that he has, the people that he meets along the way, and some of the things that happen in the process of meeting those people. Like, not all meetings are great and some meetings are phenomenal. Now, the American dream itself is not something that hasn't been talked about before. You have lots of pieces of media that have been shown, written about, even music, even there's so many things out there tackling the idea of the American dream, the myth and reality of it, whether or not everything can in fact be accomplished and everything can live up to that ideal, or whether it's just a facade and something that always feels like it's just within reach or too far away from you. And The Brutalist, once again, shows you an interpretation of that journey, that strive that goes towards getting something like the American dream, trying to obtain that. And what it leads to is a monumental movie. It is incredible what Brady Corbett is able to accomplish here. And this is honestly a masterclass for him. It is amazing, the vision that is on display. And whether it be his direction, his screenplay that is co-written with Mona Fastvold, the fantastic performances, the magnificent musical score, or the outstanding cinematography, just the sheer scale and scope of The Brutalist is worth commending. This is one hell of a movie. And it also seems like a movie that has been accomplished with way lesser than you'd expect. The budget for this movie was about $10 million. It kind of shocks me that it is, because this is such a grand movie. And in the time that we live in right now, so many movies that are massive in scale have these, massive blockbuster budgets around them, between 100 to $200 million. And here's this one with $10 million doing work which is equivalent of that amount of money. It just goes to show what you're able to accomplish when you're able to allocate things the right way. And everything in The Brutalist is as perfectly composed as it can be. It is genuinely a testament to the filmmaking that is on display, that it manages to feel as grand as it does. I haven't talked enough about that cinematography, but I will. 70mm for this really is the way to go. It is playing in some places in 70mm, so if you get a chance to go see it like that, I highly recommend it. That's how it's running in my neck of the woods right now. It was really awesome, and it was with that intermission as well, which I think everybody's gonna get. There is a 15-minute intermission in the middle. And so just having that entire experience, where you got to experience the movie in these, two halves, and to, really see it play out in this systematic way was quite incredible. And getting to see it with a very packed crowd as well. That was really nice. It's always nice when people show up for a movie like this, and this is one of those cases where they did. Let me talk about those performances for a little bit with you guys, because I absolutely have to. Adrien Brody, for starters. This guy is one of the best actors we have right now. And it's always nice when Adrien Brody really gets a chance to shine in a role like this, because you really get to see what he's capable of. In this movie, he is giving one of the best performances of his career. And as Laszlo, just seeing this man go through every single possible thing as the movie progresses, it's genuinely astonishing work from him. And it is one of the best performances that you're going to see of, at least 2024, I guess, 2025. The time, date, year thing, at this point in time, is all scrambled to me. So it's one of the best performances that you'll see in recent times. Guy Pearce is also really great over here as this man who is trying to work with Laszlo, and he wants some things built, and you're starting to see various versions of him as the movie progresses, different sides to this character, and he plays it incredibly well. One of the best supporting performances of the recent times too. And the same goes for Felicity Jones. There are moments with her that really do stick with you long after the movie is over, particularly one scene. I'm not going to say too much about it, but it involves her, pretty much just her, Really, really great stuff. Though that scene definitely leaves a mark. Quick note to the supporting characters, by the way, there are some really great things over there from Raffi Cassidy and Alessandro Nivola as well. I really like them both in the movie. They both did a very good job too, and something that I did want to shout out as we're talking about everything else. I mean, really, there's no dearth of good performances in this movie. I think everybody does a really, really solid job, and everyone gets a chance to shine in the process, which is really great. The movie is paced really, really well too. I mean, it moves very fast, and there were points where I didn't realize how much time was going by until, you know, you got to certain moments. For example, when intermission, like when we got to that point, I remember thinking it had been like an hour, and it had actually been about 2 hours, which is just, again, you know, just to give you an idea of how this movie just immerses you in the world that it is showcasing around you. You're seeing things transform and change along the way in America post the war, and there are certain, you know, allusions to real life things that are happening at the same time, whether it be through radio announcements or things in the news, and that really cements, you know, whatever is happening with the characters, make it feel a lot more real and, you know, grounded in that reality of it. And as certain conversations start to change along the way, and, you know, certain talking points become a lot more different, again, the movie's execution of all of that is phenomenal stuff. The idea, again, of the American dream, the way it tackles that, it's very interesting, and it challenges the audience's perception, especially when it comes to resolving a few things towards the final act. Some might like the way the film manages to progress with those ideas, some might not. But it is also very blunt in what it's trying to say. Not very subtle, I will say that. It very much, you know, tells you up front what it is doing. It does so without having necessarily to talk down to you, to, you know, make you think that you're not getting the point. It very much is one of those movies that understands what point it's making, it knows that you know what point it's making, and it accomplishes everything that it needs to very effectively. By the end of it, I was just absolutely floored with The Brutalist. I think it's a phenomenal piece of filmmaking, and a movie that absolutely deserves to be seen by everybody. And whenever you do get a chance to see it, wherever you are, I highly recommend checking it out. I highly recommend going for it and seeing it on a big screen. It looks dazzling up there, and it sounds amazing as well. And so if you get the chance to do that, definitely worth your money and worth your attention. It is definitely one of the best movies that I've seen in quite some time, and I think The Brutalist absolutely does deserve a 10 out of 10. At this point, I feel like every single video I'm doing feels like an extended cut of the best movies list, because Nosferatu I loved as well, and I was like, yeah, I would have put that on there if I'd seen it earlier. I can say the same thing about The Brutalist. So at this point, I just feel like they're all just, you know, extended sections of that list. But yeah, here's another one for you. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon. There's a few more things that I'm catching up on that I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.